You can hit a point on your spiritual path where you're doing your practice and instead of feeling good and more calm at the end, you're actually feeling more off, more intense, more confused than when you got on the mat. You wake up, you do the work, but all of these emotions, all of this past hurt, old reactions and stuff that you really thought you'd already moved through starts to show up again. And if you're still operating from the old paradigm where you do your yoga or your spiritual practice and you expect to feel good, or you judge your practice and say, oh, this is good or isn't good based upon how we feel at the end, you'll start thinking something's gone wrong. And that's the point where people honestly stop showing up altogether. In this video, I'm going to show you what's actually happening when your practice starts bringing all of this stuff up and why this phase is actually a necessary part of the process. So you don't walk away from something that's actually working and can stay with it long enough so you can start seeing what's always been underneath the surface. See, the yoga marketing is good, isn't it? In the West, we had this myth, didn't we? That yoga was meant to make you flexible and that was it. And then we started to realize, oh, wow, this yoga's a little bit deeper than that. I think it might actually be about making me feel good. It's about relaxation. And so if this is about relaxation, then why, when I finish my yoga, am I sometimes feeling worse than when I got onto the mat? Well, we're going to talk about this because feeling good was just the tip of the iceberg. It's true, isn't it? When you start a process of yoga, maybe you just dip your toe in and you do it once or twice a week at the local gym. And of course, that is going to leave you feeling good. It's not doing much of the deeper stuff because we're not doing it consistently enough. So we end our session super relaxed. We go and tell all of our mates about how good yoga is and we try and bring the whole tribe into the gym. But unfortunately, this isn't really what yoga was about. Yoga is a complete system, a complete spiritual life process that only about 1% of people doing yoga are actually using it for. Okay, so if this is a spiritual life process, then where did I go wrong? How come I've not really known about this? Well, probably because we're doing it in a gym, isn't it? We got our Lululemons on. Oh, I shouldn't mock. But we're doing it in a gym and this is basically become exercise, hasn't it? And maybe we do get some of the deeper benefits because somebody's trained fairly well at teaching it, and we do get the benefit of feeling good at the end. We get that relaxation state. But the big problem for a lot of the people doing it this way is, one, not having the right kriyas. Kriya just means, if you've watched my previous video, a technology or an action that can set you free. If we're doing yoga in the gym, it is basically just stretches, which often doesn't lead to setting us free. It just leaves us to a nice experience, okay? But let's say we were getting the right kriyas in the gym. Why it never goes beyond feeling good is just because we're not doing it enough. And we're not doing it with enough repetition, with enough regularity. See, real yoga, when you're doing yoga as a spiritual life process, because it's an inner science and it's very good at doing this, it's going to bring up all of the muck and all of the repressed wounding and stuff that you've been trying to get rid of since you were a child. And I'm going to show you exactly how it does that in a moment. Because for a lot of us, we might have done some yoga in a gym for a bit and thought, yeah, this is starting to feel great. And my body's feeling good and my spine's now feeling aligned. So I want to do more of it, isn't it? But then we start doing more of it. And then the deeper stuff starts to come up. And we're like, oh, have I done something wrong here? Should it feel this way? Is this the devil's work? Is this a demon like the Christians want to throw at it? You know? And the thing is, no, it's not. We're just missing the key frameworks and key understandings about what yoga is really about. So if yoga is here to purify my system and therefore liberate my soul, because that's what a spiritual life process is about, then why is it feeling so bad? Well, I'll tell you. Because yoga means union, to yoke. Okay, that's where the root etymology of that word came from, yoke. So yoke is to bring something together, is to make it whole, is to make it complete. But we have many fractured different elements of ourselves, don't we? That have been created through wounding. We'll call them scars inside of ourselves. And part of the game of yoga is to align and yoke those scars back together so we're no longer a fragmented device and we're actually something whole and complete. Yoga as a technology, though, is increasing your energetic frequency. Now, as you increase your energetic frequency, your subconscious mind, which, by the way, is where all of this wounding and trauma and stuff is stored, your subconscious mind, which is this stuff all the way down here, no longer the tip of the iceberg, can't hold on to the repressed stuff in your system anymore because we're penetrating it with such a high energetic frequency consistently using the right kriyas, because it's an inner science, right? So we must be using the right stuff at the right time so that we don't create chaos. You're implementing and imprinting your system with such a strong energetic frequency that the subconscious can't hold its grip on the stuff that it's repressed. Really, the feeling good part of yoga, the relaxation part of yoga, is good marketing in the first instance because you feel good, you feel alive, that's great. But then that feel good, that baseline of peace, which is your natural state that yoga has revealed to you, becomes a bit more of your baseline. And because of that, your nervous system really settles into a deeper baseline of peace, of ease. And that energetic frequency of peace, which is your natural state, then allows the subconscious mind to relax. And then all of this stuff starts coming up to the surface, doesn't it? So that looks like old wounds, resistances, mental patterns, pain, sadness. Sometimes we can even feel a bit depressed. A depression can come in. Well, normally this is coming in because we've been really kind of living a lie up until this point. Not like it was a conscious lie, not like you're bad or anything like that. It's just we didn't know who we were. And as soon as we start experiencing the truth of ourselves through the process of consistent yoga, then we start beginning to feel upset, perhaps, that the way we've been living hasn't been in accordance with my soul. No wonder I'm not enjoying myself. So if you are experiencing a lot of this pain, a lot of this wounding coming up to the surface, that doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you or that your teacher's awful and, this is now like demons work. No, you've just gone beyond the surface level of yoga, isn't it? And now what the technology is designed to do, it is actually doing. So it's a sign that it's working. Now don't worry, this doesn't last forever. I know it's painful, okay? And I know that as soon as pain comes, the mind wants to make a story, wants to make a narrative, doesn't it? And say, I can't be like this forever. But don't worry, you won't be. The mind always wants to contract around a sensation or an experience, doesn't it? And project it into the future and make it permanent. But this isn't the way that life is. And this is what the system of yoga is training us to do, isn't it? It's freeing up the ways in which our identity grabs hold of things because we recognize, actually, this identity is made up. This is surface level stuff for us, isn't it? What's much, much deeper is my presence, my dynamic stillness. Yeah, that subtle vibratory hum inside of my system that's filled with my prana. Prana just means energy. And energy is what we're increasing the frequency of so that we can penetrate the deeper layers of ourselves with that vibratory harmonic so that this stuff just comes up. I imagine we'll see in the future through technological advances that harmonics and vibration will be able to do a lot in this world on a physical way too. If only we were to do some yoga and have a look at the effects that it has on the internal world, we'd look outside and go, I think that might work there. I think that might have some effects on the world. I think that might be able to penetrate things very, very deeply, you see? So when this wounding and stuff is coming up, what we might be asking is, oh my God, this is painful. When will it end? And what we're really saying to ourselves actually is, how long am I going to avoid the sensations that are coming up in me? Because that's really how long this will last, isn't it? Is the amount of time that I'm willing to continue resisting the stuff that's coming up from the deep, because you've got to feel it. You've got to feel it to heal it. I know you were hurt. I'm not making whoever hurt you right, but the trauma that we've experienced inside of our system, it has to come up and we have to heal it, isn't it? You weren't the problem for that, but you do have to take responsibility for the pain that's within you if you want to grow, if you want to heal. And so the question isn't how long is this going to take? It's how long am I going to avoid being with the sensation? Because what I avoid or what I resist is going to persist, isn't it? So if you want some help diving deeper into you, understanding your deeper inner workings, then by all means, you can access level 0 of the Freedom Blueprint. You can try some sadhana on my channel. Both of those options are free. The level 0 of the Freedom Blueprint is a much deeper dive, so you can really orient yourself and begin navigating and understanding what's actually happening on your spiritual journey. But regardless of what you choose to do, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you understand a little bit more why we feel kind of crappy as we begin to do our yoga fairly consistently, then the YouTube algorithm reckons that this video is going to be a good one for you to watch next.